Hi, this is Julie at Love's Beginning with a message called The Balm That Calms. We invite you to observe where you are seeing and believing in irritation and inflammation. You can observe this in yourself. You can seem to see it out there in the world. You can observe it in those you call other and think that it is outside of you. You can observe what seems to be an inflammation or disturbance in nature. And when looking at bodies, you may think you see something amiss, something that irritates or causes pain and suffering. The common theme is disturbance. You can seem to see it both within and without. You are here to allow the calming of this irritation and inflammation wherever you seem to see it. Whatever you experience and however you experience it, it is an indication of what thoughts are still present in the mind. You cannot experience anything that does not point back to a thought still active in the mind, a thought that has been accorded the status of reality. So the work gets done in the mind, and the evidence of that work shines in what you seem to see outside of you. Does that mean that you are to blame for everything you seem to see outside of you? If there is only one of us, who gets the blame, and for doing what, to whom? The idea of blame belongs to ego, and you invented ego to have a distracting, pretend experience of disturbance. Because the ego has never been real, and everything it churns out has never been real, there is no one to blame for anything. You just got distracted and confused for a bit, taking your attention away from what has always been real. By putting your attention back upon what is real, understanding that you did nothing wrong, and all has always been well, you allow what seems to be outside of you to resolve into a reflection of light, and then you allow that reflection to dissolve into the light that all have always been. There is only one balm that calms. Whenever you seem to see or experience irritation and inflammation, there is only one remedy. The mind is disturbed, and there is always a presence shining here that would bring peace to this mind, flushing away all distorted ideas about a nightmare. Learning to become quiet and still whenever you seem to see or experience irritation and inflammation puts you in a place to receive and share this balm. You do not know what form the remedy will take, but over time you will trust in the flow that brings healing inspiration to you. In some instances, you will be called to action and speech. In other instances, you will remain quiet and still. It matters not. Over time, you learn to trust what seems to take over as your true self, and then you begin to allow yourself to see that true self operating through those you call other. You begin to witness a calming of the irritation and inflammation, and those you call other come to you to bear witness to the same. Your feelings are your guide. You know when you feel disturbed. It is never because of a situation out there in a world. It is never because of a deficiency in one you would call other. It is never because of a deficiency in the one you think is you, separate from the others. It is never because of the condition of a body. The disturbance is always in your mind, and it is at that level that it is healed. Open up to this healing immediately when you notice any disturbance, and it is a healing you can share with all. It is a healing that the world you experience will reflect back to you. When you feel something that disturbs, it is informing you of the presence in your mind of an artificial entity based on the belief in disturbance. You seem to see a separate you and a separate someone else. You once accepted a thought that disturbance of the oneness was possible, and then you experienced a fantasy of this disturbance. You can fight and rage against a fantastical that never had any reality, or you can rest now and allow the balm of reality to do its work, extending outward to what you seem to see. The balm does its work when you allow yourself to rest in what is real, when you find your willingness to accept the assistance that comes from what is prior to time and space. It is our honor to remind you to sit and rest, to receive, to accept and share the gifts that are always here for you, the gifts that bring the blessing of clarity to the shared mind. Thanks for listening.